GingerGM.
Hello, and welcome to another stream. I'm chilling out under my waterfall, and we're going to try something a little bit different today in this stream. Never done this before myself, so hopefully it goes well. And what we're basically going to do, I've got a friend of mine who actually met at the last GingerGM party we had. Well, the only GingerGM party, which happened in a crypt. You may or may not have heard about it, and we're hoping this year to invite more of you over. If you can make it over to London, it'll probably be like December sometime. I mean, those of you who follow the streams who fancy a trip to London to meet people like myself, Fiona, there'll be other grandmasters there to compete in a really weird and wacky live blitz tournament with beer. There is beer included. Then I'm hoping some of you can make it. I don't know where the venue's going to be. It was in a crypt last time. This time we're looking at a prison. We're looking at some caves. We're looking also, by the way, an old prison. It's not used anymore. We're also looking at the Magic Centre in London. Some really cool places lined up. But YayBjorn, who I'm going to get on Skype in a minute, was present at the party. A very nice guy from Norway, the home of chess, and he has very bravely volunteered to do the following. And the following is, I'm going to get him on Skype in a minute, so he'll come and join us, and we'll have a quick chat with YayBjorn. Then he's going to play 2 10-minute games. He's going to turn Skype off. While he's playing his 10-minute games, I'm going to commentate on them, and I'm going to give my impression of what he's doing right, what he's doing wrong. So maybe a lot of you can see typical mistakes that he's doing, or typically good plans that he's doing. After he's played his first game, we're getting back on Skype and we'll take a look at the game together and we'll discuss it together. So that is what the plan is. Crash the arcade. The green screen is broken rate you experienced. Not really sure what that means. I was trying a little waterfall green screen. I don't know if it's going to get annoying with water dashing down behind me, but it's supposed to be relaxing. But let me know. So we'll see. Well, it's going to be an interesting way to stream, and the idea again is if it works successfully, I'm going to try to do a couple more with YayBjorn, see if we can raise his level. But then some of you guys who are in the chat, who are picking up Ginger Coin, because just for being in my chat on my stream, the twitch.tv GingerGM chat, you will pick up Ginger Coin. Obviously, if you subscribe, you donate, you get more Ginger Coin, and some of those things will hopefully you can use your Ginger Coin maybe to get a lesson with me, which we do. So that's it. Yeah, the reason this thing next to me is there, we're going to get Bjorn on in a second, and we're going to have to cope with this. I should have arranged another screen, but I was a bit rushed for time. We had another vet visit for Charlie, who is all okay. You'll be pleased to know, but he had to go down to vet, so I didn't have much time to arrange certain aspects. Okay, so let's get YayBjorn on now, and we'll have a little quick chat with YayBjorn. Be nice to him. He's a lovely guy, and he's very brave to come on the stream on the camera. It takes a bit of getting used to. So let's see if YayBjorn is about. So I'm just going to give him a bell now, and hopefully I've set this up right. Okay, bloody Skype. Let's give him a ring now and see if this is going to work. Hopefully it will work. And hey, Bjorn.
Hello, Simon. Yes.
How are you doing? Okay.
I'm good. Thanks.
Good.
A little bit nervous, but I'm good. Hopefully this will be interesting to everybody.
I hope so. I think it's normal to be nervous, so don't worry about that. But I mean, it'll be a bit of fun and just you got a beer.
Yeah.
Well, that's without a doubt the best way to get rid of any nerves. I feel
Exactly.
So get the beer down you, and everything will be easier.
Yeah.
So Bjorn, just to introduce yourself. You've also been following my stream and Fiona's stream for a while now, I guess.
Yeah. I think like a lot of people have played chess online for like on and off for some years, and then I think actually I started watching some chess.com videos, and I remember the first one I watched was your Gambit line, and I was watching the King's Gambit videos that you were doing, and it just hit me that like, oh my God, chess can be so much fun. I didn't realize. I thought it was just like this long game of of boring strategic moves, and then that gave me the interest to contact some local clubs and get involved. And that was probably three or 4 years ago, and I've been pretty much addicted since. And obviously following your streams, buying your DVDs, as everybody should, of course. I'm not getting anything from Simon for saying this, but they are really good. But so yeah.
Cool, that's good. So, well, I'm glad sort of your interest in chess has come back. I mean, did you play when you were a kid?
Well, like a lot of people, I taught. Well, my dad taught me chess, and then once I beat him, he didn't want to play anymore.
Right. Okay.
And he didn't like to take me to any other people who played. So I never found anybody who was really interested, and I never got involved in any groups like that. So yeah, it was just like I've probably been like 1100 player all my life. And then I started like seriously 4 years ago. Not seriously, but addictionally, I guess.
Cool. And we did also, we should let everyone know, meet at the GingerGM party. You came over it. You're one of the few people, and you travelled from Norway to the GingerGM party, which do you want to tell us your experience of it?
That was my best weekend all year last year. That was just great. I don't know how much I should tell of it. It was basically a crazy thing. And I went there all by myself. I didn't know anybody from in advance. But like the group and the environment there, the people are so friendly. It's so easy to talk to all these chess maniacs, and I mean you have something in common, so you don't need icebreaker or anything like that. And it was a great weekend.
And there were quite a lot of maniacs there, I think.
Yeah, I still have some nightmares about DJ and monkey in the bar, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, next year I guess I'll get dressed up as well. I really didn't know everybody would take this dress up thing so seriously. Like sure. Simon mentioned in a Skype that or an email that like there's a fancy dress award, and I was like, well, with my English I wasn't sure. Does that mean like I should wear like a suit or should I? So I was just like taking it really careful and playing it safe. Wearing normal clothes, and then everybody else turns up in these weird outfits, and I'm suddenly the one not out. So
I think it was. I mean, it was one of the weirdest experiences chess-wise I've ever had. I mean, if people don't know what we're talking about, we had this party. The first time the company GingerGM's done this, and it was trying to get everyone together, but in our weird and wacky way. And we had it in a crypt. We had a DJ playing some really mental, tracks. Christoph, if you know Christoph, it was great. We had lots of alcohol flowing, I think it was fair to say, and there was loads of good players there and loads of just lovely people. It was great, and it was great to meet you as well, Bjorn. It was a lot of fun. So
likewise.
Yeah.
By the way, I'll never forget that moment when I turn over and you see Darth Vader opening his mask and having a beer, and you see it's a Grandmaster.
That was our Grandmaster Danny Gormally.
Exactly.
Danny Gormally turned up as Darth Vader, and he had to take his mask off every time he had a beer, which was. Then we had a monkey in a cage. There are photos on GingerGM.com, but we're planning to do another one of these things. later on. So hopefully, if we can arrange it all, it's a lot of organising, but we should hopefully get around to doing it. And yeah, do you want to tell everyone what you do, Bjorn, as well? Because you have a lot of interesting, different jobs. I mean, you're running a restaurant and you do lots of things. Is that right?
Yeah, I do. I've done IT for most of my life. So I have this company. This is where my YayBjorn name comes from. My name is Bjorn. Bjorn is quite hard for English-speaking people, so I usually just say Bjorn. And then I run a company called Yay Images, and then some other people from the startup environment started calling me YayBjorn. And basically, I just used it as a nickname because it was easy to remember as a sign-on name. But I think when I met you guys at the Crypt, Fiona started liking the name YayBjorn. It was just like YayBjorn. Like I never intentionally used that as a nickname, but it stuck. So yeah, now I guess I'm YayBjorn.
So should I go for YayBjorn rather than Bjorn or Bjorn? What would you prefer?
Doesn't matter at this point.
Okay.
Bjorn or YayBjorn is fine, probably. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so the plan is.
And I had I'm making a living out of this Yay Images company, which is a stock image company. Okay, cool. But now I've had a career shift, and now I'm doing like a restaurant and a bed and breakfast down in Fredrikstad in Norway, for anybody who knows Norway.
So I've actually been to Fredrikstad, and I mean,
yeah, you told.
Yeah, I hit some bars over there, and went to the university, and even hit a nightclub over there all the years ago. But I mean, obviously you're in Norway, and just before we
not many.
There's not many. I think there was one nightclub, and I can't remember. I was too drunk, So, but it was great fun. And just before we get on to the actual chess, obviously, what's the Magnus effect like actually in Norway? Because I only went there before Magnus was famous, and does everyone know Magnus? Is he a big celebrity?
Oh yeah. He's a big celebrity. The effect for the chess environment takes some time, but we notice it on our chess club now. But I think especially because there's a lot of kids coming in, and you see kids playing chess in school, and chess has basically become like a cool thing that kids can do. It wasn't like that 10 years ago at all. It was just like the nerds who did chess. But now it's totally different. And yeah, he's a huge star. Anybody recognizes him when he's out. His big tournaments are on the national team.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if we've lost.
Understand chess? They're everything, and you can watch it. Well, the main channel has this little arrow that shows how well he is in the position, and even though they don't understand the position, you kind of watch like, oh, he's doing good. Oh no, he's doing bad. So it gets exciting for everybody.
I mean, I've got one sort of Magnus story, and then we will get into the chess very soon. Don't worry, but. The one Magnus story I can remember is I played Norwegian League. I got invited by one of Magnus's friends, and the night before, on the Friday night, it was Odin, and Odin said, okay, well, we're going to go bowling. And I was like, okay, I don't really do bowling, but we'll do that. And he goes, right, well, we're going to go bowling a little bit out of Oslo because Magnus wants to come along, and okay. He doesn't want to. We don't really want to go to a pub in Oslo because he just gets too much attention, and so we went to this bowling alley. I don't know, maybe 5 miles. I don't know, a couple of miles out of Oslo. I'm not really sure where it was, and he got the lane right down the end, the furthest lane. It was only like we were right down the end, and it was about 5 of us. We're drinking beer, playing bowling with Magnus, and even then, a couple of girls came over, and they said to me something Norwegian. I was like, and they go, is that Magnus Carlsen? And I was like, yeah, I'm security. Have you got anything, anything you want to pass with him? And it was quite funny, but he seemed like a lovely guy anyway, So. He is. And I think Norway is an all right place to live for celebrities like that, because people are not too pushy, and usually they do what you say. They come ask their friends if it's okay to contact them and stuff. So. Yeah, so it's not too bad. Good. So we're playing a minute. So we're going to play a 10-minute game, and I'll turn off the. Maybe you can search for a game now, YayBjorn, and we'll turn off Skype when you get started, and I'll give you a call afterwards, so I don't affect your game. And so what's your rating now? Is roughly what rating are you?
I think it's around 1700.
1700 on chess.com. And in like do you have a rating, elo rating in like real life, I should say?
I haven't played for a long time, so I think my ELO rating is like 1400 something.
Okay.
But I haven't played like official games for a really long time. So.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, so just if you search for a 10-minute game now, sometimes it might take a while just to come up. And
oh no, it's quicker for us lower rated.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already there.
Cool. Right. Okay, I'm going to log off now, and I'll give you a call after the game. All right.
Cool. See you. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Okay, so I'm going to comment on this game, and we are going to get YayBjorn back up afterwards. And well, we can see that YayBjorn is playing the London system with Bishop F4. So this is a move that I recommend in one of my DVDs, and I've also done a free. Well, I've done a free couple of lessons on this on my YouTube channel, which you can check out. I've also done a DVD, a 7-hour DVD, if you want to learn more. Now, Black's strategy, I don't think E3 is correct. I'd rather keep things more flexible, because as soon as they go D6, I like trying to play E4. But at this moment, YayBjorn's going for a very solid formation here. And I don't recommend this myself, but it is a normal way to play the London system. Black's main idea, and the move that White has to watch out for, is E5 in this position. But at the moment, YayBjorn just developing normally. And even knight D2 here, you may have to watch out for E5. You just always got to think about your opponent's main moves in the position and what his main plans are. And now we should be wondering, is E5 an option? Black playing very quickly with A6. It is a 10-minute game, so they do have a bit more time. And now you've got to think of a plan. And this is probably the main problem that most players encounter. They play the opening moves quickly, and as soon as they've done all their opening moves, as you can see White has done here, what do you do next? And I think this is a very common thing. So I like Queen E2, because if I was White here, I'd be trying to maybe push with E4, and I might not even want to commit my king, because YayBjorn now has the opportunity to castle queenside. So Bishop G4 played, and this is maybe again aiming E5, because now the knight is pinned, and you really do have to watch out for the E5 move in this position. So I would either try to step away now, something like Bishop G3. This move is okay as well, as long as... Okay, well, I don't like the bishop coming back here. This seems like a really, really bad move for me from Black. The bishop gets in the way of Black's logical move. So now I'd be trying to punish Black by continuing naturally with E4, threatening to fork the pieces, or maybe even a move like knight G5. But this move is totally illogical. It makes no sense to develop your bishop, give White a tempo. H3 is a very useful move, because the bishop on F4 can drop back to H2 anyway, and also now you get in the way of your main move. So what is YayBjorn going to do? If your opponent plays a funny move, you're suspect to bow, you should aim to punish it, and that's why I'm thinking E4 is best. YayBjorn's gone for this move, but is this a little bit artificial? Because after Bishop D7, do you have a good follow-up? Make sure you don't just play artificial moves, because again now E5 is threatened, and I'm not sure if this move has achieved anything. I did mention this move, but you had to have a real good reason. Okay, YayBjorn gone for queenside castling, but Black's now got his E5 move in. Jobius is saying, is this an idea by pushing the G and H pawns, castling queenside? Yes, it is. It's quite a risky idea. I think knight G5, the two mistakes I've seen are Bishop E6 and knight G5. Bishop E6 I've talked about. Oh, we don't want to do that move. That wasn't played. But knight G5 is one of those kind of artificial moves that, you've got to see how your opponent's going to stop your threat, and then you've got to work out, has this helped my position or has it hindered my position? And actually, knight G5, we can see, has allowed Black to get this central push in. The game has continued, Bishop G3, and now Rook to E8. And Black now has a threat. Always look at your opponent's last move and try to work out what the threat is. And Black's threat is to take on D4, and then take with a knight on D4. But YayBjorn countering with a bishop here. Again, when you create your own threats, and this is a threat, always look at your opponent's most natural move. And the only way to defend that was D5. So I'm wondering what YayBjorn's idea is in this position. Because if you retreat the bishop, then black will be able to take on d4 and then take with a knight on d4. And this is a move that black could certainly now do, and I think YayBjorn is going to be in some trouble. He misses the opportunity, but again, when your opponent plays a move, what is the idea? And you've always got to think this. Before you think of your own moves, think of your opponent's idea. And his idea is to go h6, trapping the knight on g5 there. So the only way I can see to stop that is by giving the knight a square and by playing the move, which is a move I like, which YayBjorn has done. Well done, YayBjorn, because now the knight can come back to this square. And if you can go here, knight to h3 and knight to f4, you can then start pushing Harry. Maybe even now, the sacrificial idea h5 is very interesting. I would certainly consider this very aggressive move. With the point, if knight takes h5, rook takes h5, and then something like this I'm looking at. I want to take here, and I want to bring my queen into the attack. I've only given up the exchange, but I'm threatening to capture on h7 and on f7. And when you're castling on opposite sides of the board, it really is the person who attacks first. And he's played it. YayBjorn, Harry! Let's hear you all shout, Harry! Okay, so knight takes h5. Black playing very quickly. But now, I really want to see rook takes h5. This is the way to play chess. YayBjorn is going for it. I like it. He's done it. Round of applause for YayBjorn. He's got the right style. And all of his pieces are now flying into the attack. You've got rook h1 coming. And even now, queen... I think there might be mate here. Queen takes f7 and queen g6 leads to a tremendous attack. Or, then queen takes g5. So you have to watch out for this. Okay, so I was thinking queen g6. But there is a threat of queen takes g5. So this is a very critical moment. What is the best way to continue here? Can you play a move like bishop f4? Because if black ever takes with a pawn, we have rook to h1, which is going to lead to checkmate. I mean, you could retreat the knight because you have one pawn and the open black king, and the knight might also come to f4 and then into this square, g6. So that's a good route. If you're not sure here, if you can't calculate what's happening after bishop f4, then just play the safe move. Because the main threat here is queen takes knight. I mean, that might not be terrible because the queen takes d7, but I kind of like this knight. So what other options do we have here? Let's just have a think. This is a good time to spend a bit of time on the position. I like bishop f4 because I want to keep my queen here. And I want to play queen g6. If my opponent ever takes with a pawn, I have rook h1 check. But a very critical and difficult situation here well, not difficult, but a critical situation for YayBjorn to decide what he should be playing in this position. I mean, knight h3 is the safe one, and you still have an attack there. If queen f6 is ever played, I can take the bishop on d7. Answering known oneself. I mean, known on self. Now, by the way, guys, if you've got any questions, try to put them in the Twitch chat. I will try to answer this. The person playing, you can see at the bottom, is YayBjorn. He's at 1700 on chess.com, and he reckons only 1400 FIDE. The issue here, if you go rook h1 or bishop takes d5, then queen takes bishop is a move you have to consider. That's why I'm trying to reinforce my knight on this square somehow. But YayBjorn is getting a little bit low of time at the moment. I think the safest option, knight h3. If you can't calculate, safety is okay. I know going forwards is key. Now this move may be playable because we are going to take the bishop on d7. I think black very wise to get rid of that bishop because that bishop was going to take here. And I still like white's position because white has a very solid pawn formation and black's king is a little bit weak. Okay, so he's gone bishop here. Now this is very risky because if it doesn't work, you're a whole rook down. I mean, what are you going to do against queen e7? And queen f6 is not as good because I can take the bishop, but I think queen e7 would have been winning there. You know, it's okay to sacrifice, but you've got to be very careful when you sacrifice because if it does not work, it's going to backfire massively. Oh no, the bishop, YayBjorn, you had to take the bishop, man. Oh, so that was just a bit of an oversight there. A little bit of an oversight. But, okay, well, YayBjorn now, his best bet, I'd imagine, is to take as many pawns as he can. But I think he'd be a little bit upset with that blunder. And we'll talk about how to avoid blunders a bit later on. And that is another blunder because the rook is lined up against that. And unfortunately, I think YayBjorn feeling the pressure there. Now, remember, let's all be nice to YayBjorn because he is a lower rated player, as we know. He's only 1400, so he's like a lot of you guys. He's very likely to make some mistakes. That's the whole point of this. We're going to try to work out why he's making mistakes. You can probably relate to this. I can. I make mistakes. And he played a brilliant attack up to a certain point. And what we're going to do afterwards, I think, is going to be very useful. We're going to try and work out how he can improve his play. So we'll go through the game. I will give my point of view. He'll give his point of view. And you guys at home, try to see how it might help you yourselves out as well. The result does not matter. That's not what we're playing for here. We're playing for the experience and to try to improve, improve our play as such. So really, this is still tough. And he is playing someone who's a good player, and he's gone for a very vicious attack. Look, he's still going for it. He's still going for the attack, and there's still some chances here because these two pieces, and he's got a lot of pawns. So black trying to sacrifice back, and black has the two bishops, but this is not completely over now. Not completely over. Rook takes h6 would be a lovely tactic, trying to divert the defender of the queen away from the queen. So this would bag another pawn, and king g8 would be the only move. Now again, let's not be nasty because the whole point of this is, I think if you play with a crowd watching, and you know you're watching and you're doing this for the first time, you're going to play a lot worse in your first time than you would do normally. I know this when I'm commentating, and the whole thing of this is to be positive and to try and learn something when we look at the game afterwards. This is YayBjorn, as he said, has only been playing the last 4 years, and he's done incredibly well to get to this position, and we're going to try to help him improve. Now, okay, yeah, I think you should play rook takes h6, but after king g8, black has to move the king to g8, otherwise you're going to lose the queen. Black must still be doing very well because of the two bishops. So YayBjorn has not done that, and that is the final blunder. I don't think he's going to be a happy YayBjorn when we get him on air. But let's all think we take the positives away, and this is a very important thing to do. When you finish your game of chess, you're going to be pissed off if you lose. We all are annoyed when we lose, but okay, we got to use that positively. So we've got to look at our game, and this is one of the best ways to improve. I would say this time limit's even too quick. If you want to improve at home, play a 15-minute plus 10-second game at least, if not more. Then what you've got to do to improve is look at the game, and we can look at it with computers at some points, but try to look at it with a stronger player and try to work out where you went wrong. It's okay making a mistake, but it's completely stupid to make the same mistake on multiple occasions. And he played the opening and middle game very well. So we're going to take the positives, but we're also going to look how we can improve. And this is the best way for you guys to get better tactics and to look at your mistakes and work out how you can improve, how you can get better at chess. So let's get YayBjorn back on. I'm sure he's a little bit annoyed with that one, but these things happen. So let's see. We'll get YayBjorn back on now, and we'll have a chat. Hey Bjorn, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. I'm not going to watch the chat for a while, but
I have to say my experience, Bjorn, of commentating live and on Twitch is sometimes it's best not to look at the chat. But a lot of people are saying some really nice things in the chat. I mean, we had Axe Villager saying, "Don't worry, I'm very impressed at how he played the opening and start of the middle game. Excellent."
Okay.
People saying good game, and someone saying yay, a Norwegian. So, also like to welcome Chessbay to the chat. This is,
Okay.
and Chessbay saying, is this YayBjorn? YayBjorn, Bjorn, or what else can we or Bjorn?
Yeah. It's all good.
So
Yeah, I just realized 10. I haven't played much 10-0. Usually, if I play Blitz, I play 3-0. And if I play longer games, I play like 10-5 or something. And 10-0 is quite quick. I started realizing when this tactic position came up, it's like, wow, I don't have much time here to calculate these things.
It is actually it's a lot quicker than people think. This time limit, and I mean you think you played you got a nice attack. I love your H5 idea. That was a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I don't know if you can now follow my boards, Bjorn, because then we can maybe have a look at it.
Can I do that somehow on chess.com or?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you go to just follow, and I don't know how you can do it, or maybe. Can you see if I move the pieces? So,
yeah, but it's quite a delay on the. Let's see if I do follow.
Okay, because I'm actually looking at your game. That's the thing. So I'm just thinking the best way to do this now.
Exactly.
Like I said, this is the first time we tried this, so we might be a little bit difficult with you guys watching to get this right. But we're going to look at YayBjorn's.
Okay, I'll watch. I'll try to just watch on the stream, but there might be some
delay. Okay.
Some delay there.
Okay. Well, first of all, YayBjorn,
yeah.
When did you first sort of think, okay, in the opening, I'm not sure what to do? At what stage? Can you pick up a move?
Well, actually, quite early, because I know this. After he played D6, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And after that, I get this feeling that he's going to fianchetto. And I know your line against the fianchetto without playing E3, where you just play Queen D.
Queen D2, yeah.
Yeah, and then you kind of try to swap off the dark square bishops and do like a full attack on the H file. And I know this setup, but once he played I wasn't sure. Hey, maybe I was thinking maybe I could wait and play knight f3 here and see what it does, and then see if I still has this option. But for some reason I decided to, so maybe he doesn't do that. Maybe he goes for e5 right away, and then maybe I should have played e3. So this was actually the first time I was thinking about what to do.
Yeah, we mentioned this when we were following it live, and I think the best move here, and the rule is, if you play the London system with bishop f4, and I know a lot of people are playing this line, I play it myself, and I guess you've watched the videos that I've done. YayBjorn. When they play d6, my rule is that it's time to try and play e4. This is the move you want to play against this d6 move.
Okay.
Because generally, you don't want to do that move, by the way. Generally, e4 is never an option if black ever plays lines with d5. It rules out you playing e4. But if they play this move d6, it means they're not really controlling the e4 square, and I would take the opportunity to try and play e4. So can you think of a way now that you could try to prepare the move e4 and develop as quickly as possible?
Well, then I could play the either knight c3 or knight d2. I would guess I would play knight c3.
Agreed. Why would you go knight c3 instead of knight d2?
Well, I think I don't want to block my queen in, basically, and I want to put that on d2 in some lines, especially if it does this fianchetto thing.
Perfect. I think perfectly explained. I mean, knight c3 would certainly be the move I would play, because now, if you think about it logically, we've always got to think about what setup our opponent's going for. And you did explain, if he goes g6, I guess you'd be feeling comfortable after knight c3. And in this position, you could do a plan which we noted before. I mean, you can actually, I'd probably go e4 first, taking over the center.
Yep.
Trying to take advantage of the fact that my opponent has gone d6 and not d5. And now after bishop g7, well, you spoke about the plan, YayBjorn, that you'd play here. And what is the move that you'd do here? After bishop g7, I guess it's just coming on the board as white. What move do you think is a good?
Okay, so here I play queen d2.
Queen d2.
And then I would castle long, would be the idea here.
Perfect. And with bishop h6 coming, you can get this typical attack, yeah?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so I think knight c3 would be my preferred choice. Now, just a question, if you do go knight c3, what else can he do apart from g6? So maybe have a think yourself. G6, I guess you're happy with because you know what you're doing there. What other options do you think black might have here?
Okay, so in this position?
Yeah.
I guess I would be... no, can you play...
I mean, at the moment, he can't play e5.
No, exactly.
But he might prepare the move e5. So let's just say he goes knight d7, for example, and he's trying to now maybe come with a move e5. And of course, one of the most important things you need to do in chess at every level is always look at your opponent's last move. And this is the first thing I do here. Try to work out what their plan is, e5. And then try to stop their plan, I think, whilst improving your own position. So is there a way you can try to stop e5 and improve your own position here?
Yeah, so I guess knight f3, just...
knight f3. I think a very simple move.
That, yeah. That's kind of where that knight belongs anyway, I feel, in these lines. So.
I agree. And yeah, just try to control the e5 square. And you develop your knight. E5 now loses a pawn because, of course, we have... Three pieces attacking, only 2 defending. So this kind of stops most of his plans, basically, I think, just by playing this very simple way, because you're trying to take advantage of the fact he's gone d6 immediately. So this would be my preferred way of playing the opening. But let's have a look a bit later on, shall we, how it went. So e3 played, and now he goes g6, and this is not a system I've recommended for white. But you develop very normally, so you go for your pyramid, and this is the normal way you play the London. But I don't think it's the best way against g6. I recommend an idea with e4.
Yeah, exactly.
So it might not be a position...
I really just hadn't considered that I could go e4 anyway. On move 3 here, basically.
Yeah. I think a rule worth remembering is if black doesn't go d5, you can always consider knight c3 and e4.
Right.
But if he's gone d6 especially, it's very unlikely he's going to go d5 again because he's wasting 2 moves to do it. So logically, the idea of e4 makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Okay, but on with the game. So both you develop normally, so this is all pretty natural around here. And I don't think there's anything to criticise. You develop all your pieces in a normal way. And here black goes a6, which is, I don't know, it looks like a bit of not a move that really improves his position. And what were you thinking around here then, YayBjorn, after the move a6?
Yeah, so I guess this is like the second time I took like a short break to try to think, because now I got all my pieces in a normal, it looked like a very normal setup for the London system for white. But black is very solid also, so I'm starting to kind of think where my attack should be. I'm always intrigued about, especially after they think Keto and all you talk about this h4, h5 idea. And so I'm trying to kind of prepare that. I'm trying to think here if it's safe to castle long or not. I've lost a lot of games castling long in these positions because the pawns just come marching down and his attacks gets in before mine. So I was trying to think a little bit here if it's safe to play queen e2 and then castle long and then just attack as much as I can on the king side, on his king side.
Well, I like the way you're thinking. I mean, there was an interesting possibility that a couple of people actually pointed out. Chess War. If we just go back one move, I should have mentioned this. Instead of him playing a6, this is a trick you really have to watch out for here. What would you do if he'd have played e5 instead of a6. So I'll put that up on the board. There might be a little bit of a delay, but rather than his a6 move, this move e5, striking in the center, is the one break black wants to play. And this is something you have to think about here.
Yeah, but I've had this sometimes, and it feels fine if I play bishop g5.
Bishop g5, okay.
And because then I actually control e4 again.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
so I can't go directly there, but maybe it's not good. It always takes me a little bit by surprise, this move. And then I feel like, oh, luckily I have this move to survive.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say in this position, black is absolutely fine because he's got this nice move, and one thing he can try to do eventually is to push that pawn on. It will take a bit of arranging, but I mean, I think the one bit of advice I give you in the opening is to avoid this setup, basically.
Yeah.
So be very careful with the move order earlier on, and we can look at that a bit later on, just how we can avoid this whole setup, because I feel even myself, but especially at lower levels, this kind of setup is probably easier for black to play because he can go h6, he can start pushing, and one bit of advice I always give when you're playing is always try to pick a very simple setup with simple ideas. Why make things overcomplicated? Try to make things complicated for your opponents. But if we go back, I mean, that's probably okay. I mean, I like your queen e2. I think queen e2 is a great move, and I like your idea of castling queenside and going crazy. It looks like a lot of fun. You've also been watching some of my crazy blitz games occasionally as well.
Exactly.
But now bishop g4, and I like h3. And there's another moment here I want to mention. He moved his bishop back to e6, and I think this was probably a key moment again here. What was going through your mind at this moment?
Okay, so after h3?
After bishop e6, after his bishop.
After bishop e6. Yeah. Okay, so I was thinking, let's see what I did here, because I think I did something that I kind of regretted right away.
You went knight g5.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking this bishop looks awkward, we'll place, and I can put some pressure on it, and it seemed like my knight would be good there in the long run. But yeah.
If you look at this position again, I mean, I think knight g5 is probably the kind of common mistake that lower rated players often play. I mean, I even mentioned it in the stream. It kind of it looks very natural. You put it there and you force the bishop to move. But after the bishop does move, I guess you just have to think, right, well, is my knight actually going to be good here? And whenever, of course, you move a piece into your opponent's half of the board anyway, you always have to watch out for what I call the kick move, like h6, and I think your knight will have to retreat then. For me, this move, it sort of seems tempting, but it's just after your opponent stops the one move threat, which he does in the game, bishop d7, I think it's a bit artificial. Because the knight was probably better on f3, where it controls this e5 square and tries to stop the break. So I would say it's probably a bit of an artificial move, that one.
It's funny you say that, Simon. I was I think this is when I did this move and I saw him move back immediately. I was thinking like, okay, so Simon is going to go, well, that was artificial.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I realized it right away when he moves back. It's like, okay, now it just looks silly.
I mean, I think with a time thing, it was a bit difficult. But if we go back before you go knight g5, if you think about this position again, I think you got the right idea here, because you pointed out that the bishop on e6 is bad. Is there another way you can try to take advantage of this if you now have a think? And of course you can try to castle, but his bishop is uncomfortable. He's played this ugly move when we should be trying to take advantage of it. But is there a way you can try to do that? And again, the questions I'm asking here, maybe everyone watching can have a go answering as well. These are general questions if you play this kind of system, or general tips you might be able to take away.
Yeah. Well, like e4 seems like a move that I should have considered now. E4 and d5.
Definitely. I mean, if I was white here, I would go e4 now. And you might, and now also one thing you kind of got, you're making the position a bit more like what you mentioned earlier, the position you're more used to, because you could go queen e3 and bishop h6 here. And another little bit of advice I give for people if they're in the middle game, always go for middle game positions that you're familiar with, even if they're not maybe even the best, because you want to do familiar plans because you'll know what to do.
Okay, yeah.
And I think e4, it does have the threat of d5. And I think it's just useful to move this pawn forwards. You maybe can even go e5 as well. And it just looks like a good move that creates a threat and improves your position. So I like e4 here anyway. I think it would have been a good little move.
And you open the e3 square for the queen. I didn't realize that point of it, but that obviously makes it even stronger.
Yeah, because I think, again, another key thing is obviously if you can swap off the dark squared bishops, your opponent's king becomes a lot weaker and you can attack it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love when you started throwing Harry up the board. Should we go to that bit? I think,
yeah, let's do it.
Let's go to that bit. So I think everyone was very impressed when, okay, you got queenside castling in, and okay, we're gonna zoom forwards. Now, by the way, after bishop b3, I think your opponent had a good tactic here. Let's just see if you could spot it. He played e4, which I think is a mistake. Can you see a tactic, and people in the chat, that black can probably do here, which bags him a pawn? He can win a pawn in this position. It's to do with his rook lined up against your queen.
After bishop. Yeah, okay.
After bishop b3.
Okay, yeah, I see. So he can take twice on d4, right?
That's right. He has this tactic, and this would have been a little bit tricky, this one.
Yeah, that would be horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the problem here is this knight g5 move has just allowed him to get this play in the center, because if you just go back, you have e5 under control by a number of pieces, and you probably want to keep that square under control for as long as possible. But he didn't do that. That's the good news. So, so he went.
It allowed the game to go on for a bit, at least.
And we got to see the action, because e4. Okay, I think h4's played, so your knight can come back. I guess, but I really, after knight a5.
Yeah, I was a bit worried about trapping my knight, actually.
Sure. So now at least your knight has the h3 square. But when he played knight a5, you went for this great attack. I love your attack here. And this is something, well, if you've been watching my videos, you probably know I try to do all the time. So what were you thinking here after knight a5, YayBjorn?
I was basically thinking that I need to start an attack, and I was ready for this sacrifice, and it looked dangerous. And this was the time. I think I spent a lot of time in the beginning, so I had like 3 minutes left, and there's no added time. So I started to try to calculate these things, and it's in like, okay, so I think I get 2 or 3 pawns at least, and it looks dangerous. So okay, why not?
I think that's a good way of thinking. I mean, if you ever think about sacrificing a game, a bit of advice I would give is, obviously it's very hard when you're playing blitz. You have to go with your instinct, and this is why. This is why I recommend people don't play too much blitz, or if they do, they try to offset it by playing long play games so they can calculate further, because in blitz it's just impossible to calculate it a long way. So you've got to go with instinct, but I think your instinct was really good.
I think in general, like I know some people who like are afraid to lose, kind of, and they never go for these attacks because they're scared they might not work.
Sure.
And I feel like instinct is a bit experience, right? So if you never try these things, like I don't care if I lose this game or I lose a couple of games. So, but at least if I try them 100 times, maybe I kind of get this instinct after a while that I see what works and when it doesn't work. Obviously, especially if you do what we do now and try to analyze why it didn't work, or
No, I totally agree with what you said there. Actually, I think so many players, again, around your rating, I think they think completely different to you, and the reason they never improve, they will be at the same rating. And whenever I play tournaments in England, you'll see people that I saw when I was like 10 years old, and they're still 1600 to 1800, and I think the reason for that is they just don't want to take any risks. They play the same stuff, and they're not really willing to try different things out. And a big tip for anyone out there is, if you're not an aggressive player, just try it. You've got to try new things out to understand what your style is, and you only get this from practice. And I think h5 was a very good move. I mean, a quick question. Someone asked, what about bishop g4? which may have been playable.
Okay. Bishop g4.
And I was thinking here probably just f3 as a possibility, and then maybe something like pawn takes f3, pawn takes, bishop takes h5. And here, okay, yes, black has won the pawn, he's kept his king side blocked. It maybe is a better option. But, I mean, I think you can still take some positives away from here.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
In this position.
Yep.
I might even try to go knight h3 and put my knight on f4 now, because I want to try to get rid of this bishop. And I do have, some open lines over on the king side. So this is probably a better way for black to play. But I don't think it's terrible news for you here either. This position. I don't know. What do you think of this position? If he'd
well, yeah, I would like this position personally. Like I feel like my king is very safe, and I feel he has to avoid some tactics. And I'm not material down here, am I?
One pawn down. Just
one pawn down.
Yeah. But I don't think you have to worry about this when it's opposite side castling. In such a, I mean, again, another thing people do, they seem to get really precious about their pawns, and you should be precious about material, but also you sacrificing a pawn for the initiative is often a great way to do things, and also to improve your own chess. Try to play a bit riskier. So this is maybe a better way for your opponent to play.
Yeah.
By the way, if anyone is watching this over on chess.com, I'm watching this on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv GingerGM, so you can come and watch it over here. I think I'm getting kicked off chess.com by Ben Feingold, Bjorn. So what do we have to say to that?
Cheers, Ben.
Cheers, Ben. What beer are you drinking, YayBjorn?
This is a local brewery from Fredrikstad. It's actually one of my best friends' brewery. It's called Ego.
Okay.
And the beer, this one is called Skål, which basically means cheers in Norwegian.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a light, very nice one.
Good beer. And by the way, thank you for the shout out by
carbonated, if you can see that. It's been in my fridge for a long time, so
okay, you got out for a special occasion.
yeah.
How much is the price of, how many euros is the price of beer? It's still crazy over in Norway. If you went to a normal bar and I wanted a pint of beer or something like that, how much would it cost me?
Yeah, well, it depends on what you mean by a normal bar, but so there's I usually don't go to like the classy and fine one or nice ones.
No, sure.
I go to all the darky ones.
That sounds more like me as well. So, yeah. So how much is it for a dark and dodgy one?
Well, then it would be, you could get one for 9 euros, maybe 8 euros, maybe.
Okay.
If you're lucky.
Okay, if you're lucky.
But that's why I'm running my own restaurant, so I can pour my own beer. So,
I like it. Advantages.
Yeah.
Okay, and in the game, well, let's have a look what happened, because around here, after knight takes h5, you sack the exchange on h5, which is totally the right thing to do. You get your queen in the attack these two pawns. h6 was now played, and I think around here, it's getting very critical. Now, I also liked queen f7 initially, and I know you played this very quickly.
Okay, yeah.
But maybe it was worth considering some other options here as well. I mean, did you consider any other options at this moment?
No, this was just autopilot. I guess I should have looked more at this.
Maybe. I mean, now I'm looking at the position.
I mean, yeah,
maybe
knight takes looks maybe even stronger.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you had more time in the clock here, this is kind of position now where you probably should spend longer than any other position you've had so far, because it's to do with calculation. Yeah. I mean, you just got to calculate, is queen takes stronger or knight takes stronger? And the way I do this, I'd look at queen takes first because it's a check. I'd look at king h8, and then I'd see, do I have a good follow-up there? If I can't see a good follow-up, then I'd probably look at knight takes. So then I'd think, well, if knight takes, my opponent moves his queen. So let's say queen to f6, and again I need a good follow-up there.
Yeah, but then the d5 pawn is hanging, right?
Then the d5 pawn is hanging, yeah.
With a really dangerous discovered attack. So.
Yeah, that does look dangerous. But maybe, therefore, black's best move after knight takes f7
is to take
on b3 with check. and get rid of that bishop. And I think you still have a good attack there. But
okay, could you say that again? I didn't follow that line.
So let's put it on the board. If knight takes f7, I think black should now flick in.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
This move here to get rid of that bishop. And let's say you go knight takes. Now he has to move his queen. So maybe something like queen f6 here. Yeah. And you now got this problem with your knight. So, I mean, I still think you have initiative after knight e5. It's a very good knight. This is where I put the knight. Attack the bishop. I'm only the exchange down. I have a pawn for it. I've got the rook coming in. I have the bishop coming in. Yeah. So I think this is still okay for you. But maybe the key move. I think queen takes was all right. And around here, you can see after king h8. I think even again when you're attacking in chess, when anyone is attacking in chess. It's very key to think about your opponent's best defensive moves and what your opponent is trying to do. And your opponent's main threat here is really queen takes g5, right? To get rid of that knight. Yeah,
it actually took me a while to see that. Just because I don't see these things as fast. And I was considering just queen back to h5. But I realized, I can just take with the queen. So I need to find something better. So here it was, quite difficult to find a good move here.
Yeah, this was a tough position. I agree. I mean, I was thinking of an idea here because I think we just got to think. I know it's tactical, but if we think of the most important thing in this position and try to work out our problems around that, this is often what you can do as soon as you realise what the most important thing is. And I think you realise it's the g5 knight, right? I mean, that is a very dangerous attacking piece. If there's any way you can keep this piece on the board, then great, because that would be fantastic. But your opponent can't take with a pawn, because if he takes with a pawn on g5, what would you do? So
well, then there's rook in, and there's
rook in.
Just mate, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we can only take the queen on g5. So logically thinking, is there any way we can maybe stop him going queen takes g5 to try and keep our knight there? And I think there's two interesting moves.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So bishop f4 or something would stop that, actually.
Bishop f4 was my first thought. Yeah. And your bishop maybe is useful attacking h6 in some lines. And this is still very complex, but I think you can keep your knight here, and that might give you time if you can keep your knight on g5 to get more pieces into the attack.
Because now it's hard to stop the rook swinging over. And
that's right. And let's just show what happens if pawn takes. Obviously, rook to h1, as YayBjorn's pointed out, is going to be checkmate. We've stopped queen takes g5 for now. If we get some moves, we can even consider taking on d5, but we can also just get another rook into the attack. If he plays a move like queen e7 here, what would you do against that one? So let's have a look. After bishop f4, queen to e7. Again, I think you want to keep the queens on the board, definitely. But there's a couple of ways to do this, and
I just need some time for the stream to catch up with you. Okay, so in this position?
Yeah, just take your time to think about what you're doing. Everyone at home, try to join in the chat. I'm looking at the chat as well. Okay. I see that White Kid 2000 suggested f4 instead of bishop f4, which also I think is a very good idea. White Kid 2000 is same principle to keep your knight there. So I think that's totally right. So well done. But this position to me is very tough position to play, and this is the way to get better at these positions. Is really it's a combination of experience playing them. Like you say, if you keep playing more of these positions, hopefully you'll get better. But also tactics training. Train up your tactics to do this. But around here,
this suddenly seems extremely tactical.
It's very tactical.
I'm looking at taking a d5 and threatening the knight. Because his king gets crushed if he takes. He can't really take with the pawn still.
Yeah. So YayBjorn's saying queen takes pawn at the moment, and in the chat people are also saying queen to g6, and is another possibility. Hello CWM Raig, and these.
Queen to g6 looks really strong.
It does. I mean, I think again in these positions it comes down to calculation. And if you're playing a real game, you know, let's say where you've got more time, after Queen G6, you're threatening checkmate.
Yeah.
So you should always look at the most critical moves. Now, without moving the pieces, let's see if we can work this out without moving the pieces. Because when you analyse at home, what I'd recommend everyone does when they've got a game like this, don't use the computer the first time you analyse. Try to work it out yourself. You can even make notes like we're doing. We're spending a lot of time analysing this, but this is the best way to improve. And then once you've made notes, once you've done it yourself, if you're really serious about getting better at chess, then compare your notes to the computer and you can see where your analysis may be going wrong. But if we try to work this out ourselves, basically another thing you should do at home is not move the pieces when you're analysing. Try to train your mind to think ahead. So if Queen G6, YayBjorn, okay, I'm going to try to look at this. So Queen G6 in this position. Let's say black goes pawn takes knight there. How would you continue? So, and this is a question for everyone as well. Queen G6, pawn takes G5, and now you're a whole rook down. Is there enough attacking force there?
Okay, so I would first look at rook H1, I think, and see what happens there.
Yeah. So you'd have to play King G8.
And I know King G8 is the only move.
Yeah. And this is getting tough to analyze. I know, probably the same for everyone, but this is what you need to do.
But then I have bishop takes D5 check, right?
Okay. Now after bishop takes D5 check, I'm going to give you a very tough test, and this is a test for everyone. Sorry about this, everyone.
No, that's what we need, right?
Okay. And what if he goes king to F8 there? You have forced checkmate in 2 moves. And the way to work this out now again, and this is the same for everyone, we're looking at Queen G6, pawn takes knight, and we're not moving the pieces. You can't move the pieces in a game. Rook to H1 check, king to G8, bishop takes D5 check, king to F8, and in that position you have checkmate in 2 moves. Now, if you've ever lost the position, go back to the start and just keep working through it from the start.
Can you play rook H8?
Yes,
and
you can.
Bishop takes and Queen G8 mate?
Brilliant. Well done.
Oh, wow.
Well done. Way!
If I was playing that on the board, I would be like, I would need like 10 minutes to double check that.
Yeah, of course. And this is
but when the grandmaster says it's mate in 2, then it's easier to find, obviously.
It's easier when helping. But another thing I'm going to ask you in a second is, of course, he doesn't have to go king F8. But let's just show that line. So this is the way you should be thinking in your game. You should be looking, let's say we look at Queen G6. Now, before you play this move in a real game, you have to analyse his sharpest move first. And it's a lot of calculation because you're threatening Queen H7. So really, he's got to take the knight. And the line we were looking at was check, getting another piece into the attack. King to G8. Now we take the pawn with check. And here we were just wondering what happens if he goes King F8. And, well done, Bjorn. Found the move here, an amazing shot, rook H8, and that opens up the queen to come into G8 with checkmate. So the next question I'm going to ask you, and this is the kind of process you should do on your own when you're training everyone here if they want to improve their calculation, is after Queen G6, and we're not, I mean, you can spend hours on one game, but the question I'm now going to ask you, without moving pieces on the board, so we can wait until the position gets back, but after Queen G6, what happens if pawn takes knight, rook H1 check, king G8, bishop takes D5 check, and then he goes bishop E6, which is a much better defensive move.
Oh, okay.
And then we've got to try to find a move there, and that's the same for everyone else. Else. Yeah. So everyone at home now, this is just the way you've got to work. You've got to work methodically through moves one by one. So just do it one at a time. If you get lost in the variation, just try to go back to the start and do it again, because it's easy to get lost. And you've got to try to look as far as you can. If you can't solve it, you go with your instinct, and or you look for a better option. That's what I do, and I think it's done me quite well. So we're looking at the same line, but after bishop takes D5, we're looking at bishop E6. Now I'm saying this because I'm not even looking at knight B3 check, because that's going to be the next thing we should be looking at in a real game situation. So just try and train all you for a real game situation. Do we have a good move there? That is the question. If we don't, then it may not be working.
Yeah, this is a hard one, right?
It's a hard one.
Mm.
It might be an impossible one. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, right.
So,
yeah. I'm just wondering if you can still. Let's see. You can still take g5 pawn with my bishop, right, and put some pressure on the queen. Does anything happen there?
well, if bishop takes g5, you've got to think of your opponent's best defensive moves. So then I'd go queen f7, threatening to exchange queens. If the queens come off, your attack disappears.
Yeah, right. And right, I was thinking the light square bishop was hanging them, but it's still protected, right? Okay.
Now, I think there is one line here. Maybe that is keeps the attack going. I'm just wondering if anyone can see it. It doesn't hang the queen because the queen is defended by two pieces. The line we're looking at, if you've lost where you are, is pawn takes g5. And again, if you've lost where you are, and this is the same for a game, go back to the start of your calculations. And if after the game you're trying to do this, don't move the pieces on the board because you need to improve your vision. So the line we're looking at is black to move is pawn takes knight, rook to h1 check, king to g8, bishop takes d5 check, bishop to e6, and that is a position you're trying to envisage, or I'm trying to get everyone to envisage. In that position, does white have any way to keep the attack going? And we will have a look at this afterwards. Now, no one is thinking.
I'm looking at bishop d or bishop e5.
Bishop e5 is kind of a way I was thinking. So I want to get rid of the bishop on g7. Now, for all of you, and everyone in the chat who's basically looking at other variations, what I'd recommend first, rather than jumping to other variations, try to analyze one variation at a time as deeply as you can. Because if you jump from one variation to the other, you'll never improve your way of thinking. This is a really hard skill, what we're doing here, but it's probably the most important skill for you guys to get better. Looking at these positions without a computer, analysing them, and then checking with a computer afterwards if you want to get better. Now, bishop e5 is an interesting idea, and it might be good. It might be good. Because but then queen f7, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's a very tough position. Very tough. Actually, that might be
but
good.
Queen f7,
Yeah.
Can't you... No, wait. Can you then take the bishop? No,
you can win the queen there. So, okay, I'm going to give everyone now another one. Well, we don't have to look at knight b3 first, which Estelle is saying. Knight b3 is probably the best move. I'm just trying to go through lines that are occurring to my mind first of all, and the first move is pawn takes g5. You're probably right, knight takes b3 works, but you just got to analyze things the way they occur to your own mind in your own situation. If knight b3 occurred to you first, you'd look at that first. But and it is obviously going to be a good move because it gets rid of this bishop, but this is good training anyway. So the line, I think there is a win there. You can win the queen. I might be wrong. Okay, yeah, so actually after bishop takes e6. So okay, so we'll go for it again. So I'm looking at pawn takes g5, rook to h1 check, king to g8.
Only move, yeah.
Bishop takes d5 check. Bishop to e6, only move as we've seen. And then bishop to e5.
Yep.
And then queen to f7. And I think you can win the black queen and the game probably in that position. So I'll let you have a think about that. After bishop e5 and queen f7, I'll let you have a think about that and just answer some questions. So SLW is saying, isn't it better to analyse what looks the best to you and not what occurs first? Well, I always find in chess you go with your instinct, and to me, basically it's the same thing. The thing that I'd analyse first will normally be the thing that I think is the best move, and that occurs to me first. And I just try not to jump from variation to variation. And the example I'm using here is really what I'm trying to do is try to show you the best way to calculate in a real game situation to jump to that next level. And of course, knight takes b3 might be right, but it's the way we go through this, through this variation. Now, does a drain? Not sure of how you say that. I think you mean bishop takes e6, and then you had the right answer. Yes, you had the right answer. Bishop takes e6, and after then rook takes e6. There's a way to win the queen there.
I think I got it now. I think you can play rook h8.
Perfect, yeah, and that wins the queen. So,
yeah.
Okay, let's just show on the board now, because obviously I can't believe how long this has gone on for one game analysis. It's crazy.
Exactly.
And we're just going to go. Okay, so the line I was looking at was here. Rook to h1 check. It shows you how tough chess is and how hard it is to improve. It takes a long time. King here. Bishop takes here check. Now, we have eliminated king to f8 from our calculation. So in a real game situation, as soon as you saw this rook h8 leading to mate, you can then eliminate king f8. You don't have to think about it anymore. So you have to look for other possibilities. The only other move is bishop here. And now a very good suggestion has been given, I think by, I might be wrong who suggested this, but a couple of people have suggested bishop to e5, because it increases the pressure on the position here. Now, there's really two moves here. But we're going to go a little bit. We're going to go a little bit quicker now. I'm not going to spend. I could spend literally an hour on this and try to get everyone through. But the one line we were suggesting here was queen to f7, and then well done for spotting this, Bjorn. Bishop takes e6, pinning the queen. Now, Black's next move is kind of forced. He can't go queen takes because he loses control of the bishop. That is checkmate. So he has to go rook takes. And now that the bishop is no longer guarding the queen, you need a good move here. But you have a good move. You have this amazing rook to h8 check, which is a very hard tactic to see. And the point is here, you can't take with the bishop. You have to take with the king. And now queen takes f7, and at least you win the queen here. And I think this is probably going to be a winning position.
Should be good. Yeah.
The other question.
Right. You're threatening mate and the rook afterwards as well.
Yes, and the rook. That's right.
Should be good.
Yeah. And the only other question I'm going to ask you in that combination. Now, normally, if I was doing a long lesson, I would go back to the start. Maybe we'll do it. We'll do it quickly, and then we'll move on to do something else. I think we need a hand and brain off this to chill out.
Yeah, sure.
Something a bit more chilled. But in this position, okay, I've got another question for everyone who's here, because this is the way you've got to think. I'm just trying to train you to think the right way. Before you play queen g6, you've eliminated some moves. Now, I'm not going to look at knight b3. Knight b3 is probably a good move. We'll look at that last. And we'll see which is going to be a good move. Gets rid of the bishop. But if we look at pawn takes g5 again, and rook here check, king to g8, bishop takes d5 check, bishop to e6, bishop to e5, we now know that queen to f7 in that position we can eliminate from our, what we call it, the process of elimination. We can eliminate that. So after bishop f5, bishop e5 in that position, if you lost the calculation, start from the beginning, run through it yourselves, because you've got to improve your vision. This is how people this is how people, when you speak to a layman and they say, how many moves in chess can you think ahead? Can you think 20 moves ahead? Because to the layman that sounds impossible, but this is the way you can approach that and how you improve to try and think 20 moves ahead. And after bishop e5, YayBjorn, what about he just goes bishop takes d5, if you can see that. So he takes your bishop with his bishop on e6. So if you can, so after the move bishop e5, he goes bishop takes d5. And if you need to run through it again, and it's the same with everyone else at home, start from the beginning. Do you have a good move there at all? Because if you don't have a good move... So
you mean instead of queen f8, he just takes the bishop?
Yes, instead of queen f7, he just plays bishop takes d5. Do you have a good move there? So... and while you're trying...
Isn't his king on g8?
His king's on g8, yeah. And
he
again,
can't take the bishop.
Bishop takes d5. His bishop's on
D5.
e6.
Okay. Yeah.
Bishop
okay.
takes d5. He takes this one. So I'll just run it through everyone if you're getting lost at home. Is pawn takes g5, rook to h1, king to g8, bishop takes d5 check, bishop to e6, bishop to e5, and now
it's a long variation.
It's a long variation. Bishop takes d5, but this is what you got to do. This is how these grandmasters think. And if you want to, if guys, you want to become 2000 plus, you've got to start thinking like this in your real games. And this is how you get better at chess, basically. So, so bishop takes d5. Do you have any way to continue the attack there in that position? And I think Jen's chess war, Chelsea have got the right answer, and it's not necessarily an easy move.
So that means there isn't an answer.
I think there's an answer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it might be winning for White, believe it or not. And well done everyone who has got the right answer. It's bringing another piece into the attack. I'll give you a clue, YayBjorn. So just trying to pitch that position with a bishop on d5. If you lose it, go back to the beginning. And it probably doesn't help me speaking in your ear, but
that's fine. Let's see.
Well done, White Kid, as well, and well done anyone else.
Yeah, I was thinking about rook h7 maybe, but
okay. With what idea? Thank you, Lomi, for subscribing to the channel. That's very kind. And if you want to support more stuff like this, free lessons, which I'm hoping people benefit from, do subscribe to the channel. You even get a free waterfall in the background. So after rook h7, what are you worried about there?
Well, I'm not really worried about much, and I feel like I have 3 attackers on a g7 square, and I don't see how I can defend it.
Okay, I mean, if you had this in a game, another thing I would do is double, triple check all the lines, because if you start sacrificing pieces, it doesn't work. And I've done this before many times. You're going to start to look like an idiot.
It's an advantage in a blitz game because you really don't have a choice.
Yeah.
It's like, if I don't sack or create something, I've lost. So I have to.
You have to keep going. Yeah. I mean, this is why I tell people blitz is great, but if you really want to improve, make sure you take some time out to play long play games. And the process we're doing here, I recommend do a long play game. Look at the game yourself, even afterwards. And you get a stronger player, do it that. Make notes. Analyze it as much as you can, compare it with a computer, see where you went wrong, don't make the same mistake twice, and try to improve your calculation. So yeah, okay, yeah, I think that's right. Let's just show that on the board. So the line here would have been takes, check, and now we do the same variation. So we've had this all before, bishop e5, and now we know that queen f7 is not working because we analyze that. We can eliminate that move from our calculations. The reason we know that is losing is because of this tactic we saw. We don't have to do that again. We know we don't need to look at that. So we're only looking at bishop takes d5. Thank you, nice and easy 003 for subscribing. And here you're a lot of pieces down, but with this move, rook to h7, threatening just to go rook takes g7, I don't actually see any way black can defend the position, and this would be a fantastic attack. This would be Tau-like. Do you have a favourite world champion?
I know I really didn't follow much of chess before Carlsen, so obviously I have to say Carlsen. But
okay, you're allowed to
but
say
I've
Carlsen.
seen some of Tal's games, and obviously if I followed him at that time, he would be my favourite. But
and well, you only been playing like 4 years properly, yeah? You're doing very well, is that right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. You'll be catching me up soon at this rate. It's worrying. So,
oh, exactly.
Okay, yeah, and I think this line is winning. Basically, I think there's nothing black can do here. I can't see a defense to rook takes g7, and it doesn't really matter how much material that black is up, because as soon as you take on g7, black's position actually totally crumbles here. I mean, the rest of the game, I mean, we could spend time looking at it, but
yeah, I just had one question in the.
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously, it got a little more tactical than we thought. Yep. But all these problems with the b takes I mean, the knight takes on b3. That stopped a lot of the attack.
Yeah.
It's almost like, should you consider taking on d5 first? Would that be an option, just to avoid that?
Whereabouts?
So it seems like you're saying that if he takes on b3, then it doesn't seem like I have much of an attack, basically.
I mean, you might have an attack in those positions, but you lose a lot of your potential, and I think that's what spoils this line. I mean, it's the process I'm trying to show. But after bishop f4, for example, because you've got to do something with a knight on g5, we were wondering about queen to e7, and now we were just looking at queen g6, and I think you're right. Queen g6. I think knight takes b3. It is a real issue because you get rid of another attacking piece, and this is the next line I'm going to look at to spoil everyone's fun.
Exactly.
But it's more the process of how to look at a position that's key. And by your logic, you're therefore saying that maybe keeping the bishop is right, and therefore maybe you could go. Let's say you go bishop takes d5 in this position. I know the queens can come off, but you've now got 2 pawns for the queen, so you might be right. I mean, this move,
and his knight looks fishy, and
his knight looks fishy, and you still have attacking ideas. You keep your good bishop, and I think you're actually now doing the right.
If you get rid of that last pawn, like it seems you do, then it seems like you should be fine.
Yeah, you should be material up as well, and I think that's good. I think you basically come to the right answer by logic there, by calculation at the start. And then realizing knight takes b3 is the move to worry about, and just simply taking a pawn. And I think this position to me is still good for white. I mean, Stelly is also saying maybe queen takes d5, keeping the queens on the board is a good possibility, which I also agree with, because if you can keep
and putting pressure on the knight immediately,
that's right. And yet again, because of bishop f4, black can't play pawn takes pawn ever.
Exactly, right.
Because rook h8 is always winning. So maybe even queen takes is a better move.
Maybe that's the best one.
People are now saying, let's go to stockfish. But the whole point of improving is to is to avoid turning on stockfish. It's such a temptation. But one of the reasons I think a lot of amateurs...
Imagine how boring this game would be if I was using stockfish.
it would be bang, bang, bang. You look at the position, you go, oh yeah. And there's no process of actually improving. It doesn't help anyone improve using the computer, and I think it's right, So where's the Harry emote? Nice and easy, is saying I need someone to make some more emotes. So it will be coming eventually.
This position you're also threatening knight g7. It seems.
Maybe.
Knight f7.
Knight f7 is maybe a threat, and it's certainly a tough position. This one, I agree, for black to defend, and also now you've got material equality because you've got 2 pawns for the exchange. So you're not even material down, and you can just pick up another pawn as well. So I certainly think this position is a happy one for you. Okay, well, should we? I mean, we could look at the rest of the game, but I think there were a couple of blunders, and
they were just like last position. I was trying for cheapest, I guess.
And do you often? I mean, I know your time was low. Do you have anything you do yourself to try and avoid blundering? Because I think, again, blundering is something that happens so much.
I don't know. I was talking to a friend about from the chess club about this the other day, and it usually happens to both of us when we're winning. That's when you start blundering because you're not concentrating as hard or something. And I mean, this game, it wasn't really blunders. It was more giving up and just trying. Maybe he doesn't see this. It's a mate in one. So yeah.
By the way, sorry, YayBjorn, someone has pointed out a move which I missed. Was it in the game? So, and well done to Jen's Jess. So maybe we should just point this out one time. After Queen takes G5, I totally missed this one. You can probably see it on the board as we catch up. Bishop F4, Queen F6. There may be a move here which at least keeps you in the game, or gives you a better position. There is. Even though you're a whole rook down, I did not see this. I thought you had to go Queen takes D7 with an ongoing attack. Instead, you took the wrong thing here. But there might even be a stronger move than Queen takes Bishop. Is in this position. Black has overloaded his queen. Yeah, can you see another move here, YayBjorn? So after queen f6, you took the pawn. Queen takes bishop is good, but there might even be a stronger move here. So in this position,
well, there is rook takes and then bishop, but
well, rook takes h6. Is that looks okay? No.
But then queen takes.
Okay, then we go bishop takes queen.
Yeah.
Bishop takes bishop.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was looking at later and trying to make work.
Yeah.
But it never really did work. So.
Yeah. But this seems like
yeah. That's just winning, isn't it?
It's a lot better. I think black has to take with the queen, and then we'll have a look at the material.
He gets a lot of material back, but
he has 2 rooks and a bishop for the queen, so you're a pawn up materialistically.
Okay, yeah.
But his king is very exposed. The combination of queen and knight work very well if you can get your knight in.
Yeah.
And your queen will probably at least win another pawn. So you're definitely better here. You're definitely a lot better in this position. So yeah. Sorry to interrupt about you were saying about blundering, but I just saw someone.
I was saying it does happen a lot, and I think a lot of us low-rated players often feel like this when we play games against high-rated players. We feel like we don't lose because we're like outplayed, but it's more just suddenly you blunder, and it's hard to figure out why. And it usually happens more when you're winning, because you get nervous or you stop concentrating or whatever. And I still feel like I do some really, really horrible blunders and just leave my pieces hanging, and I don't know how to stop it. Maybe it's just experience. I don't know.
I think blundering it's something even top players do. I mean, they obviously do it a lot less. And when I've spoken to a number of players as well who are trying to improve, they just have the same problem. They can get good positions as well, and they can blunder in good positions, and they don't know how to stop it. And the only bit of advice I can give there is it will go away the more you play and the more you practice and the more you improve your tactics. I mean, thinking in the way we just did, that methodical way of thinking, is a great step to stop blundering, because you have to look at everything that you can in the position, and it takes a long time. Chess is a very complicated game, so you have to look at everything. You have to double check everything, and by double checking everything, you're going to check your pieces, where they are, can they be attacked, so your vision's going to improve. So I think the process we did there is a very useful way to improve a lot of general things. But of course, you should always look for the basics, like loose pieces, double check moves that your opponent plays. So whenever your opponent plays a move, what is he threatening? Why did he do that move?
Yeah.
And also double check your own moves before you play them. Just double check them, or triple check them. I sometimes quadruple check them as well. So it's something you just have to be very aware of. And tactics and tactical training is something that will only help that, I think, to be honest, YayBjorn. So so I mean, I don't know if we've got time to play another game, YayBjorn, to be honest, because that was a bit intense there.
It's up to you, man. It's up to the chat what they want to do. So
I mean, maybe next time we'll definitely maybe play a bit of a longer time limit. We'll do this again if you're up for it. Are you up for it again? Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Maybe we could take it a challenge to get you to 2,000, on chess.com or something like that, or 1,800 or ELO rating over the years, something like that.
Yeah. That sounds great.
But how about we play one game of Hand and Brain for a laugh? Should we do that?
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, we've had the serious stuff. It's time to lighten the mood, and I'm going to follow YayBjorn play. And I'm going to say the piece or pawn. I'm going to either say bishop, pawn. YayBjorn has to move what I say and hopefully win. So it's Hand and Brain, typical Hand and Brain. What time limit do you want to play, YayBjorn?
It's up to you. Doesn't matter.
Should we try?
Let's say like 5 minutes at least, so it doesn't.
5 minutes. Let's go 5 minutes, shall we? Let's give it a rock and roll. So okay. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
So should I just start one, or should I wait for a challenge from the chat, maybe? Or
does anyone in the chat want to play us? How about that? Let's see. Anyone in the chat want to play us at Hand and Brain? So let us know if you want to take on.
I'm just going to check my
Sure.
Yeah, I should be challenging,
Okay.
accepting challenges from everybody. So yeah.
Okay. Well, by the way, let us know if you do want to play. Then you're going to be playing against YayBjorn, but I'm going to be the brain. I'll probably get chucked off chess.com YayBjorn for cheating now. So they'll be like,
Doubtful.
you cheat, get out of there.
Okay, so I have a challenge in.
Let us know your handle on the chat.
Staley, 5 minutes.
Okay, let's go.
20. Oh, it went away. Can you challenge again, Staley?
Yeah, let's see if we can get Staley to play.
Oh no, I found it. Okay, yeah, we're on.
Okay, brilliant. So from Norway as well. Okay.
Cool.
we will go. I don't know what opening do you play?
Steinar Lima. Don't know him, but
what opening?
I usually play Black Lion against everything.
Okay, pawn.
Okay, great.
Okay. Knight. Pawn. Okay, so the Black Lion's another opening I did a video on for YouTube, 3 videos, and I've done a DVD on it for ChessBase. Okay, pawn.
But you haven't done like Black Lion against D4?
I haven't. So. No, this is the new one. Knight. This is not the normal Black Lion.
No.
Okay, bishop. And I met Steely in Reykjavik. Actually, Steely was playing the Reykjavik Open, and it was great. We had an opportunity to say hello, and hopefully, okay. So, that's passive. That's passive. Yeah. Come on, we need more violence from the Viking. Okay. I'm gonna go now. I think I'm gonna go king here. I don't think we can do the normal attack here.
So I'm playing passive. Okay.
we've got a castle. Okay.
I'm known at my chess club for never castling.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll remember that for future. Let's go pawn.
Okay. This one.
Yep, good move. I like that. Controlling d5 and allowing the queen to come out. So far so good. You've guessed all of my moves so far. I don't know if that's a good thing though.
Except the bishop, right?
So, yeah. Okay, let's go pawn. Now I think this is a key case. So looking at your opponent's last move, thinking what he wants to play.
Yeah, right. I should have played the h5 or sorry,
a5. Yeah,
a5. Yeah.
I think that was just a key moment there. I mean, okay, it's not so bad. Let's go queen here. But just to everyone at home, this is a basic little bit of advice. When your opponent plays a move, look at the move they just played, work out what they're trying to do, b4, and try to stop them. So here I wanted to play a5, and this is one of the first things you should do in chess, because you can stop your opponent. You're halfway to winning the game. So I'm not being hopefully putting you off playing chess ever again, am I, YayBjorn? With
no. This is fun.
You can tell me to shut up if you want to. Shut up, Simon. Okay, that's a good move.
Okay.
I was hoping he wouldn't do that one. Good move, Steely. Good move. No more of them, please. Rook. Okay. Nice. Knight.
Okay, so let's see.
Yep.
Knight, 2 moves. But I want to put it here, I think.
Good move. I like it.
Okay, cool.
Exactly what I was thinking. Queen?
Only move?
Yeah. Because I mean, I think this is a normal plan in the Black Line. Get the knight to g6 or to e6 because there's a square. So I'm going to say knight again here.
So now maybe you want it to go here. Look for the square, maybe.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Perfect, because there's a big square in the middle of the board, and when there's an outpost, we need to get our pieces into the outpost. So, good move, good knight move. Like it. When he played knight takes h4, someone saying knight takes e4. Maybe I didn't look at that move too deeply. Possibility though. Gel Bun. Just subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing. Giola, how do you say this? Jelibun. Okay, thank you anyway. That's very kind. And again, if anyone does want to help out the stream, then do subscribe. Okay, I'm going to go knight here.
Okay, you still want to go in maybe? Or let's see.
It's your choice. I
can't
say. I can't say. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like fun.
Let's do something that looks like fun. Always a good philosophy.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think we will take some questions after this game for anyone in the chat. So I can see Kokarev is okay. So, but I have to think of the moves here first. Right, I'm gonna go bishop.
You're going bishop.
I'm going bishop. Doesn't sound like you're happy with that one.
You don't want his queen.
Oh my god!
Okay, bishop.
I thought I'd give him a chance, YayBjorn.
Bishop. This is how Grant plays people.
Who is the patzer?
Take material.
Oh
he
my
goes for
word.
some weird attack here.
Oh,
Okay.
you made me go red. Oh dear, I think all right. Who's giving the lesson? Oh no! I was talking, and all of a sudden, queen? What queen? Oh no, there's a queen. Yeah. Well spotted, YayBjorn. Queen for free. I want to give him a chance. Otherwise it's a bit boring. So okay, and we're getting short time, aren't we? Let's go. I don't know. Let's go rook.
Okay, rook takes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be quickly. I'll move quick now. I'll move quick. Okay, bishop.
I'm not going to get blamed for losing this one.
Bishop. No, I'll take the blame. Bishop. We're gonna win it. We're gonna win this one anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna take that.
We got a lovely d4 square. Positional. We're doing a positional squeeze. Yeah.
I'm learning how to win without taking material. So
exactly. Well, I'm going to take some material now. Knight. We're going for the squeeze instead. Oh dear. I honestly just I don't know what came over me there. It's one of those even Grandmaster's blunder. That's what I was going to say. Kramnik even.
For a minute there, I was like, don't I remember what a bishop is in English?
Yeah. Rook. Good move.
We're falling for a minute down, so.
Okay, rook.
That's easy one to find for me at least.
Okay. Knight.
Let's see. I can't take too much time.
I can't criticise at all now, as you say. Whatever you do, it's okay. So, right.
At least we know he's capable of blundering. So
we do have that as a positive.
Please give us an advance daily.
Yeah, queen. Yeah.
Okay. Don't know about that. Didn't feel right, but okay.
It's okay. I like it. Let's do it. We're pawn up, grinding the ending.
I was just putting it on a dark square, so I won't blunder it.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Let's go rook.
Let's take it in the end game, maybe.
Maybe. Queen.
36 seconds.
Yeah, this is really hard hand and brain.
Okay, yeah.
When there's no time. And it's hard when you don't see queens that are not that can be taken. Chess is hard when you miss open queens. It makes it a lot blooming harder, I tell you. But I thought we'd just demonstrate a positional grind.
Exactly.
We do it the long route instead. Just
He's struggling to find a move now, it seems. So
it is. I'm probably going to say knight next move. I think I'm allowed to say that. Could give a little clue. So he is struggling.
Unless he goes like queen d2.
If he goes queen d2, I will knight.
Well, he can still say
knight.
Okay, bring knight in.
If he goes queen d2, I'll take the queen this time. Hopefully, I'll see it. I was like, when you said there's a queen on play, I was like, what are we talking about? Okay, knight again. I was like, what queen? It's like, yeah, one move. Oh, that's a good move. Can't pawn. That was a cheeky move he did there.
Yeah.
That was a good move. King.
Oh.
Do we play for the win or go for a draw?
You play for the win, of course.
Pawn.
Oops.
Queen. Queen next. Queen. Okay, your words. I'll blame it. King. King. Probably. King. King. Pawn. King. Oh.
King probably? Or?
King. Pawn. Pawn.
Oh.
Sorry. King. I'm terrible at this. Pawn. King. 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 King.
Pre-moving.
King. 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 Pawn.
Oh, sorry.
King. 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 Pawn. Pawn. King. Pawn. Pawn. King. Pawn. King. Oh, knight. Okay. Oh dear. What a good game that was, eh? that was lovely positional game. Oh my words, that was a good fight.
Probably any time in there. I think this is just marching on with the pawn. It's easy win.
I think it is an easy win. I think me missing the queen on pre. If you just tuned in, we're playing hand and brain, and
that's what they call it. Moment.
I have to show this blunder I did. It was an atrocious blunder. Where was it? Yeah, in this position, I just went knight d4. White went bishop here, and I said bishop, not realising we could take the queen. Oh my words, that was terrible. But we won the game anyway. Thank you. By the way, Steely, for the game. That was a lot of fun. And do you have time for one more? Maybe, Bjorn?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, shall we try? Okay, so if you are,
I have a challenge in from a 2263 player from Germany.
Okay,
that's going to be difficult for us, but
should we give that a go? By the way, thank you, Robbing Peter, for subscribing to the channel again. It's exactly what I do. Okay, so we're in with a tough game now. So pawn. Okay, we might get a proper black line, eh?
Yeah.
But this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. I better spot queens. Knight. So, pawn.
It's a peculiar move.
Huh? It is a bit peculiar. Yeah, it's knight. Still in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop. So the opening we're trying here, pawn, is the black line. Pawn.
Actually, in your DVD, you don't talk a lot about what happens after exchanging.
No.
And I feel that happens in a lot of positions at our level.
Sure.
At least.
I should talk about it more. Pawn. Yeah, you're right. Taking on e5. I mean, knight.
Oh, now we get there.
Okay, knight. Lovely. Pawn. Lovely.
This should be fun.
This is the black line. This is the black.
This is a proper black line.
I actually think. Okay, we'll go knight. I actually think that when they exchange pawns on e5, it doesn't actually make too much difference to your plans.
No.
It doesn't seem to, really.
No.
Change things a great deal, to be honest.
So this is where the bishop usually goes, but now it's spent 2 moves getting here.
Sure. So let's go knight. Let's keep going for it. Someone's asking, is the black line's like a Philidorf with 2 moves? Well, what makes the black line difference is this plan of going to g5 pawn, and
this is fun.
This should be quite fun. Okay, let's go pawn. Harry, pawn.
Oh, you're not allowed to say that.
I have to say Harry.
Oh, you want to stop his? You want to stop the?
I want to stop his knight, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's annoying.
Let's go rook. So I was cheating a little bit there, I have to admit. a little cheat. Okay, now
big square here now, though.
That's it. How do we get our pieces in the game now? This is the issue. Well, let's go for bishop. This is where it gets a bit tricky to come up with the right plan. Yeah, in the black line, you generally don't castle. That's what makes the black line the black line. The Philidorf is a bit more positional, but the black line's where you go for this G5 attack. And I've done a free, like I say, free series on my YouTube channel if you want to learn about this. I'm going to now go king.
Okay. A little bit scared here then, or you want to?
It depends where the king goes.
Oh, okay. Shit, I
Um,
was about to blunder. I can't go there. Oh well.
biting my nails.
2 moves.
Oh, maybe I've blundered.
Yeah, it was.
Can I take that back?
Don't think so.
No. Okay, king. King it is.
Okay, I'm going to go here.
I wanted to go king e7, but
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
king.
that was the issue.
Yeah, I wanted to go king e7. Okay, king. Just so I could try to get the other rook in the game, but this is probably still okay. I mean,
Okay.
Cool. He's bringing his queen over now. That's a very good move that he's played there. He's trying to get his queen in with an attack. This is looking now a bit scary for us. How do we stop this nasty man from doing this nasty plan? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go king.
Bishop e7 and then...
Yeah, then queen h4. And then maybe knight takes e4 was possible.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking with a couple of threats, but okay. So sorry, you said...
Well, let's go for your plan, because I like your plan. Let's go bishop, because you did suggest it. I think we're allowed to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
And let's just see if this one works.
It seemed like fun, at least.
Yeah. When I said bishop before, I kind of wanted to bring the other bishop out, but I don't know if it was good. I just really want to get the rook in the game, even though it double pawns, but maybe it's not the right... Maybe it's not the right plan.
I was kind of thinking like his king is kind of stuck there, and if I could get my knight in there, but maybe he's safe on h2, maybe.
Yeah. By the way, answering Stilly, I wanted to play king e7. Okay,
did it?
Well, let's go for knight, shall we, and just see if it works. Why not? Okay.
Imagine if he takes on h5 now.
We'd be happy if he takes the pawn now, yeah.
then Simon would say bishop.
Thanks, YayBjorn. It's great when you get trolled by your pupil. just what you want in life. The trolling has started. Oh, what did I say? Bishop? No, knight.
Oh, he resigned. Oh no.
Before I had a chance to say bishop.
I have a feeling he's watching the stream and did that just to amuse us, but
I know.
You never know.
Maybe did it just to make us happy. And well, the move there, obviously, that YayBjorn was going to play would be knight g3. That was a really nice trick. You did line. What's the expression? Line hook and sinker. What's the expression? I've forgotten it. You basically set him up there for a lovely trick there. So
it wasn't that easy to. Where should his queen go now?
I think he probably has to go all the way back to e1, but now I think you have checkmate. Can you see the checkmate? It's a beautiful checkmate. Good question.
Can you still see my board, by the way?
I'm moving it, or I'm moving.
Okay, yeah. I'll follow
because
you.
everyone at home. But knight e4, I think, is completely winning. His probably best chance is bishop takes f7, but after bishop takes f7 check, rather than taking the bishop, which would allow his queen to come into h5 with check, I think the best move, which keeps the win, is just king g7, because then if he takes on h5, it's not check, we win the queen. And there's a beautiful variation here, if you can see the board, YayBjorn, and everyone at home. If he does go queen to e1, which is the only square where his queen looks like it's safe, we're going to win that queen with a forced variation. Hook, line, and sinker, that's the one. So what is the winning line here after queen e1? We can win by force here, YayBjorn, with a couple of checks.
Yeah, because now the h2 square is blocked by his knight, so you can go knight g3. I always have to think a little bit when I'm black, because it's not easy for me to find the...
Sure. I should have got the coordinates on. Maybe you put them on next time, we can do that.
No, I think it's good for me to kind of practice.
Okay,
but,
sure.
Knight g3 check, and then...
King g1.
King g1. and then bishop c5.
Yeah, and that's a very nice
Looks,
line. And
yeah.
and it's not quite mate because of queen here, but I think we can force checkmate now.
You at least win the queen, right? Yeah.
We at least win the queen, but I think we have a forced checkmate in about five moves now, actually.
Okay.
Maybe. I was thinking we take the queen, and I still want to get my other queen in, so I go check here, and then rook d4. I was thinking is the only move, but his only other square he can escape to is e1, because all the other squares are guarded, and now the queen comes into e3 check, and after knight to e2, we can play queen takes e2, and that's the end of that one. So that was good. Some rating points there, YayBjorn.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, if you have time, we can maybe do one more. But I think the stream will be coming to an end quite soon. It's up to you, YayBjorn. Totally up to you.
Yeah, we can do one more. I have more challenges in now.
Okay. So we'll do one more game to finish the stream off.
Okay. So the first one I have is Hacker RSA from South Africa, I think. Yeah, South Africa.
Should we see if... okay, let's go for it, yeah.
Sorry, I just started that game.
That's all right, we can do it. So we're going to go for the black... We've had black in every game, haven't we? That's weird. I think, yeah, which is weird. I don't know, we have a lot of blacks. So, okay, let's go pawn.
Okay, we're going to try it again then.
It has to be... It's a black lion day today. Okay, knight... So, like I mentioned to everyone, if you are interested in this opening, knight, I've done some free YouTube videos on this. The black lion, rawr! That's my black lion noise. A bit worrying. But I've also done a chess-based DVD which you can buy. Okay, pawn, and it's an interesting way to play against e4. It's a way where bishop, you rarely castle, but you can probably work out the plan that black does. It worked perfectly in the last game. Pawn, and hopefully, Bjorn, we're going to do it again. Are we going to do that?
It seems like we're getting the same setup, so this is looking promising so far.
Yeah, we're going to... Okay, let's just go queen. We'll keep the same stuff going.
Okay. Yeah.
And can we get the black line in again? It's kind of like a normal petrol fear for everyone at home, as people have said. But what makes the black line is when we start going h6 and g5. Okay, pawn. Yeah, and I think to answer your question, YayBjorn, I don't think exchanging pawns really makes any difference, generally. Okay, we go...
No, I feel like sometimes I actually get my rook in the open file, and he has to find a space for his queen.
Yeah.
Okay. This looks so much like the last game, right?
It looks very similar, yeah.
Moves to get there. And...
I know. We'll go pawn again here. Yeah, I agree. It does look very similar. Are we going to go for our crazy lying attack, though? That's what I'm wondering, or worried about. I'm not sure. I don't know what I should take with here, either. I'm going to say... Okay, if we're going to go for the lying attack, I'm going to say we take with a bishop, just to try to keep our lying attack coming.
Cool.
Yeah? Should we go for it again? Should we do it?
Of course.
Okay, of course.
When it works, it works.
Let's go knight first. Let's go. Nice. Then the normal maneuver in the black line. Okay, we're gonna go pawn then. YayBjorn, you've convinced me. Here it comes. The black line.
Yeah, so
attack.
you don't want to wait. Usually in these positions, I play like bishop g4.
I would do normally.
Well, now he goes. Kind of to force h3, and then I go back and start the attack. But okay,
I think that's a better way. I just wanted to get g5 in this blitz game. I think g5 is maybe not the best move. G5 only really works when. By the way, I'm going to say knight. G5 only works when they play h3, and somehow he's played h3 anyway, which is really good for us. Now, is he threatening anything? Because when your opponent plays a move, I just want to check.
His squares are always so well protected in the. By the bishops and the queen, and
it is,
so it's not as dangerous as it looks. No. I find very often when I play this.
I agree. Well, let's get on. Let's go pawn then, shall we? Should we just rock on? Let's rock on, yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. And this is why we should really wait until h3 is being played, bishop, before we go g4, because we can now bring our pieces in nicely. And okay, well I think we have to exchange queens, which is a bit annoying. This is what I was okay, but queen. We'll go queen anyway. And that's a little bit annoying, isn't it? But hey ho. And now I'm going to say bishop to you and see what you do. No!
Oh, okay.
No, it's okay. I was worried about rook f6 here. But it's okay. No need to panic.
Oh.
No need to panic. I was thinking in this position, I'll just show people at home that if we'd have gone bishop e7...
I didn't see that. Oh, that's... Yeah, right.
We can kick that one away and then we can take that. But, okay, we can still fight. We've still got the black line attack coming. I've got confidence in this vicious attack. We're gonna go. Yep. We're gonna go knight.
Ooh, okay.
Because I think we're losing a piece anyway, aren't we? Probably.
So here.
Yeah, let's just do it. I think this is this is called the move and pray attack.
Yeah.
So, but it maybe doesn't always work. Okay, now I think we're gonna have to. Can I say castles? You've got a choice of two ways. So.
Yeah, you can say king. So.
King. Okay. And now we just need to pray. If only we didn't have the H pawn. Old Harry. If Harry wasn't on the board. Oh, that'd be lovely. We could go rook g8 checkmate. Yeah. That stupid H pawn.
I'll be scared.
Okay, let's now go. I don't know, rook. We'll rook it up.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, maybe I should go h7 and defend. No, it's dropping anyway if I did that.
Yeah, I was thinking rook d2 might have been okay.
Oh, okay,
but,
right.
It's pretty tough position this anyway. I mean, let's go rook, and we can keep trying. Maybe we can hustle him on time. Should we try a little time hustle?
I don't want to. I'll go back.
Okay.
To your move.
Second time lucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just a piece, isn't it?
It's only a piece. Nothing to worry about. Ready, rook.
Oh, his rooks are getting strong, but okay, let's see.
They are. They're coming in quickly. They are scaring me a little bit. And this guy's name is Hacker. South African Hacker. Also scares me. Positive is we're up on time. Oh no, we're not.
No, we're not. Not at all. No. But he has to find a good defense now, right?
He has to be a little bit careful. I suppose he's always got King G3. I mean, he might just be able to move his rook into G7. I would imagine, but that's probably. I don't think he's got too much to fear. We've got a good knight, but he's got a good extra piece.
A good extra piece, that's true.
Unfortunately. So yeah. Okay.
Oh, he's not scared at all.
He's not scared now. Rook.
So we don't have much here, maybe not. He figured out.
Well, maybe. Do we believe him?
No.
No, let's not believe him. Okay, knight.
Oh, okay.
And now, this is our only chance to try to get that. Oh no, we haven't got rook d1 ever, have we?
Does he have more than a draw over here?
Probably. He's got bishop check coming as well.
Oh, yeah.
A knight again. It's a bit... Okay, we've got to try to get the knight to f3, I guess, as our only chance. But if we can get the knight to f3, we might be able to trick him, you know. So, maybe. Okay, well, I haven't got much choice there. I'll go king. I'll go king again.
Yeah.
It's a bit scary. It's a little bit scary.
Just a bit. Okay. I'll just...
Yeah.
As long as there's no knight.
King, yeah. It's looking very scary now. We need two moves, don't we? Knight takes pawn and rook. Okay. Now I think he might be mating us. A pity. Let's go for it. Knight. I think we're one move too slow here.
Oh, okay.
Because he's going to check and go knight check and then rook checkmate here. He's got mate and free.
Right.
Yeah, king. We'll play it out, shall we? Ah, we're so close yet so far. King.
Ah, beautiful done.
Wah, wah,
Well done.
wah. Well done, sir. Well done, hacker. South African
Thank you for
hacker.
the game, hacker.
Thank you, thank you. We I don't know. It was going all right there, wasn't it? I mean, the black line got a decent position. Maybe I shouldn't have said G4. If I'll show you on the thing. I'm thinking now where he went Queen D2. I mean, G4 looked logical. I think it's okay. And maybe after the Queen's come off, we probably have an advantage with this one because we get the same kind of position. But we stop his rook coming in, and we got the extra piece still. But
and then there's a tactic where I take with the wrong bishop, basically.
it's a tricky one. Just rook f6 was quite a well hidden move.
Right.
I mean the other thing I could have done, instead of going G4, I could have stopped his queen coming in at all and just played. We could have gone bishop E7, just step back because then our bishops control all the squares, so his open file's doing nothing, and then go G4 next move and attack. Another logical plan in these positions, if you ever get worried about your king can come to G7 and even over to H7 because it needs to go somewhere to get the other rook in as well. But
yeah.
Okay, well, I think Bjorn, first of all, thank you so much for spending your time joining the stream, and hopefully you'll be up for doing it again maybe another time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I hope the chat liked it. It was entertaining and hopefully a little bit educational.
Yeah, we got a little bit of education in at the start, I think. So, so yeah, thank you so much, Bjorn, for joining. I mean, it's the first time I've tried this on a stream, and the idea, if people do like it, is to basically do this in future. So I'm gonna take a lower rated player, and I'd love to do it again with Bjorn, and we let Bjorn play it. Maybe we'll play a longer time limit next time, so you have more time to think of Bjorn, and then
I think maybe like 10-5 at least, so you have a little bit more time on the critical positions. So
yeah, thank you for the shout out there, Chess Bay, and I still don't know what they're called, but thank you so much. That's very kind. The support, any support is great, so thank you. And we'll try to play a longer time limit. We do the same thing again, where we basically we let Bjorn play it and we analyse his game afterwards. We take questions and see if we can improve his play. And I think the one thing probably that everyone should take away from this one in a way to improve is when you play a game, don't just play blitz. If you're on chess.com, try to play a longer time limit, play 15 minutes, go and play down your local club, and then make sure you analyse the game afterwards. I think
I wanted to say that, Simon. Like the one thing that kind of changed everything for me was walking down to my local club and playing. Because like playing online and playing against somebody over the board is so different. It's like two different sports, and you get more adrenaline. It gets so much more interesting when you play people.
Totally agree, and I think it's important if you've got a good club as well. I mean, like I know some of the clubs in England can be quite stuffy, not the best atmosphere. I mean, I play for a club called the Drunken Knights, so you can imagine that's quite a good club.
Of course you do.
Of course, but you can probably always find a club that suits like your. It depends where you live, of course. But how's your club? Is it a fun club?
Oh yeah. It's kind of known for being the Bohemian club, and we also go out and drink a lot after our tournaments and games. It's called Stjernen. It's in Oslo, or Star in English. And anybody in the Oslo area should definitely come join us. We play on Saturdays and Thursdays. I think it's closed for Easter now though. But
cool. And if I'm ever in Oslo, can I come and join you for a couple of games and a beer afterwards?
That would be awesome. We would, we would invite you, and that would be really cool if you could do that.
Hopefully one day. I've been to Oslo a couple of times. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times, a while back now. But it's a lovely city, really, really lovely place. So good stuff.
And we do get discounts on beers at our local pub. So
thank God.
Exactly.
Otherwise it would be far too expensive. So but that's good to hear. Right, well, that does bring us to the end now. And again, a big thank you to Bjorn who's joined us here. Massive shout out to everyone who has subscribed, who's given bits, cheers, and everyone else who's joined in the chat. Now, I'm actually going to be away now myself for a couple of weeks. I'm going to Jersey later today. Well, a lot later. So I'm playing a tournament over there, and then I'm going directly from Jersey, which is an island off England, over to Hamburg for a week. So I won't be streaming for a couple of weeks, but when I get back, I'll aim to catch up and make up for everything. So thanks again, and Bjorn, if you stay on the line, I'll just finish the stream, and
Yep.
and I think everyone really enjoyed it. We've got good figures and really positive feedback. So
Cool.
hopefully it was a good format that we'll do again, and I hope you guys liked it. And it's nice doing different things as well. So cheers, goodbye to everyone. Thank you for joining in for the last time. And Bjorn, I'll let you say the last word, shall I?
Yeah, thanks to everyone. Apologize, I haven't been following the chat because it's been too much for me to concentrate on. But I've seen a little bit right now and scrolling through, and seems like very, very good feedback. And yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Okay. Okay, brilliant.